Brian McCarthy, and you're on Scene with us in Windsor, New Jersey, where there's been a huge, we believe this is an FBI bust. Let's see what's going on.
Disturbing allegations from central New Jersey, where about 200 workers at a large Hindu temple say they were forced into manual labor.
A local palace of peace turned into the site of suffering.
Shocking allegations of abuse and crime at a Hindu temple in New Jersey.
FBI agents were spotted outside of the New Jersey temple this morning.
Chopper video shows federal agents descending on the Mercer County address midday Tuesday. Suits combing through the property in rural Robbinsville.
FBI agents raided this sprawling site of a Hindu temple Tuesday morning in Robbinsville, just east of Trenton. The federal raid comes as a lawsuit claims workers were lured here from India and forced to work long hours on construction projects for just $1.20 an hour.
I am told that there are still workers on this property behind those gates, but that many did leave when offered by federal agents.
The most racist country in the world, and it was India.
The legal assault on Bab's temple is one amongst many attacks on Hinduism in the US. Caste system is the weapon of choice. Hinduism was attacked in Silicon Valley, and now it is a Hindu temple itself. After the legal assault, op-eds were full of proclamations that all Hindu temples practiced caste-based discrimination. The op-ed stated that most temples do not allow lower caste or Dalits inside temple premises. And they also mentioned that temple priests are exclusively Brahmin of the priestly caste. Casual readers believe these op-eds because they are published by reputed media houses and writers have Indian names. So we start on a truth-seeking mission across India. We approached it with the American oath of truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
My name is Baljan Das Jinger. I'm a resident of Merta city. In Merta city, Rao Dudaji was the first ruler. Rao Dudaji had a granddaughter, Mira, and right by the temple, her fort was built. Rao Dudaji built the fort. And Mira was looked after and nurtured by Rao Dudaji and her father, Ratan Singh. The murti Mira worshipped the most was the murti of Girdhar Gopal's Chaturburj murti, the four-handed murti. She used to sing in front of the murti, and she used to keep the murti with her. She would take it with her wherever she went. The land where this temple now stands was originally owned by the cobbler community, the Sanctum Sanctorum. It wasn't underlaid, and this automatically came out of the ground. That's why it's tilted and not straight. It is said that the Murti is at least 1,500 years old. When the priests come to the temple, they clean the temple, then bathe and dress up the deity, and after that, they make the first food offering to the deity, known as Balbog. Then the doors of Sanctum are opened, and the main gate is opened after that. Then, the general public comes in to pray. Since 1971, my family has been giving the first offering. From the sweet shop before it, the offering used to be only milk. Now, it's a sweet made of concentrated milk, or peda. Only milk-based sweets are to be given as offerings to Bhagwan Krishna. There is also a tradition in this temple that whenever some work happens, the Jingar community gives the first donation. After receiving that donation, the arrangements are conducted satisfactorily. Everyone here knows me. Everyone in the city knows me. They know that I make the first daily food offerings to the deity and devotees. The Jingar community is listed as scheduled caste, so I am a Dalit. I am the 19th descendant of Baba Ramdev. It was here that Ramdev ji took samadhi. Usually, as per Hindu customs, dead bodies are cremated, but our ancestors, descendants of Baba Ramdev, are all buried here. As you can see, all around here are the tombstones of my ancestors. Baba was a devotee of Baba Ramdev. She was a Dalit. Baba Ramdev accepted the underprivileged wholeheartedly. Thus, Dalit communities from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and across India revere Baba Ramdev. People from all over Rajasthan, places such as Jaisalmer, Parmir, Jodhpur, Jaipur, all visit. Even a few from Pakistan, a neighboring Muslim majority country, used to visit. People from other Indian states like Gujarat, Punjab, and Haryana also come and visit. During this yearly community festival, around 1 to 1.5 million people come. Which castes and community do you all belong to? We are from Meghwal, artisan community, which is listed as Dalit. People from every caste come here. These are landowners, upper caste. They are landowners from Punjab. They have also joined us. People from Punjab have opened dharamshalas, where anyone can stay overnight. Can anyone stay? Yes, anyone can stay. There are good arrangements for food, lodging, and bath. Food items are especially brought from Punjab for langar, community kitchen. We are Devasi, Dalit, Brahmin, Yadav, so many different castes. There is no discrimination here. People come to Baba with reverence. God doesn't discriminate. There is no discrimination in Dharma. Do Sikhs and Muslims come to pray here? Yes, of course. Sikhs come, Muslims come, Christians come. Some devotees from even Western countries come. Here, there is no discrimination between rich and poor or between different castes or sects. Anyone from any part of society can come, no problem.
You just saw the people going around in the temple. Can you identify who is what? Can you tell who is SC? Who is BC? No. There are few foreigners there. There are people belonging to other religions also going around the temple. It's a divine experience, man. It's a divine experience which is provided by the concept of worshipping the Almighty to the form of the image. A person like Krishna Raya, 600 years back he ruled the entire South India, up to North India, even if people up to East, West Bengal also he has conquered Krishna Raya. He did not enter, he cannot enter any Garbhagriha. There are duties performed by each and every person. So those duties are, as per Ramanuja's philosophy, there is no upper, lower type of duty. It's same. The Maharaja of Puri, you know, have you seen Puri? The Maharaja of Puri sweeps the floor in the temple. Every day. It is his service. You ask him, are you a sweeper? He says, I am the Dasa, I am the servant of the Almighty. The concept of servant of the Almighty is not properly understood by the Western philosophers. The people who don't understand our Dharma, they think it is a labor. Dasatvam. Dasatvam means servant of the Almighty. They also quote one Purusha Suktam, in which the Brahmin is the face of Bhagavan, the shoulder is that, and the stomach is that, and the leg is the Shudra. They say, okay, we don't imagine our Swami, the Dhyana Murti, like that. If you see, the Dhyana Murti of all of us is residing Ranganatha Swami, Shantakaram Bhujaga Shayanam, where the head and the feet are the same level. So there is no Brahmin upper, the lower person is a lower category. No. The person who sweeps the floor is the same as service as a person who performs archana inside the temple.
the Almighty Bhagwan Annamalai, who blesses all devotees, resides in Unnamalai. Arulmigu Arunachala Iswara Temple is an exceptional temple where everyone chants glory to Bhagwan Shiva, ruler of the south, modern-day Tamil Nadu. It is one of the most important temples of the 5 elements. Also known as the Shrine of the Element of Fire. That is our Tiruvanmalai temple. The Kartik Deepam is a famous festival celebrated as Brahmotsavam in this temple. The Kartik Deepam festival is an ancient festival, the grand festival of lights celebrated here. In such a festival, there are various tasks allocated to different communities as service to the deity. Each community is responsible for fulfilling their respective services. These services are meticulously recorded and passed from generation to generation. These traditions are being followed to date for Kartik Deepam festival. In Kartik Deepam, devotees worship Bhagwan Shiva in the form of fire. Devotees come to pray by visiting, meditating, or by walking around the deity in the temple. There is no discrimination. Everyone is seen as a devotee, each connected to God through their love and devotion. People from each community sponsor a service during the festival. Without any discrimination to date, festival volunteers are following the temple services of their ancestors. I would like to emphasize that people undertake their respective tasks without any complaints.
The
Jallikattu festival has been taking place for 100 to 200 years. On the day of Mattu Pongal, bulls are given a ritualistic bath, decorated and honored. It is a tradition to allow temple bulls to participate in Jallikattu. Jallikattu is celebrated by people from all castes. Nobody is excluded from the festivities. There will be 8 village bulls, and they will arrive through their respective lanes. The temple bull will be set off first, and the 8 village bulls will follow. Then, the rest will be set off without any preference. There is no caste discrimination in any of this. The first bull to be set off in our village belongs to the Dalit community. Everyone is viewed equally in our village. Jallikattu is celebrated with great fervor.
The guardian deity of Coimbatore is Koniyamman. This Koniyamman was also the deity for the tribal ruler. It's a few thousand years old perhaps, and the temple has a very unique and interesting tradition. The Brahmin priest and the non-Brahmin priest officiate simultaneously in this temple. They can both be present in the sanctum sanctorum at the same time. They do not take turns, like I go in the morning, you go down in the afternoon. No. Both of them do whatever that needs to be done at the same time, together, cohesively, and they cooperate with each other in a marvelous manner. They feed about 100 people every day, and there is no discrimination. People from all walks of life are offered free food every day. And whoever goes inside, they can go close to the sanctum, and again there is absolutely nil discrimination. The priests working in this temple and their colleagues live in perfect harmony. The Kote Sangameshwara Swami temple is approximately 1500 years old. This is the oldest Shiva temple in Coimbatore town, and this was located inside the fort. Kote means fort. After the demolition of the fort by Tipu Sultan, a lot of changes took place, and after the 4th Mysore War, people just refused to come back and live in Coimbatore because of the frequent battles. Coimbatore was also, they say, according to
eminent writer, Kovaikilar CM Ramachandran, Tipu Sultan had named it as Salamabad, where people who knew all the 4 Vedas used to live. Mangalam is a place where Vedic scholars used to live. So isn't it not interesting and amazing to note that in the place where Vedic scholars were living, Brahmins and non-Brahmins were functioning from the sanctum of the guardian deity of the region. The Vasavi Kannika Parameshwari temple, which is the deity for traders and businessmen, ideally Vaishyas or Baniyas. Those people pray here, the Telugu speaking Baniyas. The men from the non-Brahmin but trader community sit down and prepare the deity for Navratri worship. Very interesting. I have been noticing this from my childhood. You will experience horripilation when you watch this, because there will be 2 sets of people. One is the set of the priests who are Brahmins, and the other is the set of traders. So one would say Ayatanam Veta, the other would say Ayatanavan Bhavati. The whole prayer will interchange between the 2 of them. Every day a prasad is offered, flavored rice which is cooked inside the temple. This is given to everybody, whoever wants it, maybe a few thousand packets every day. So all the 10 days, every day the public, they can come and collect it and go, or sometimes it is distributed also. So this part is very interesting because the decoration and the preparation of the deity is done by the non-Brahmin, who is not a Vedic Pandit. Nobody else is stopped from entering or offering prayers at that temple. The Draupadi and Dharmaraja temple at the tail end of Karpagonda Street or KG Street is a very interesting temple because it is associated with the recitation of Mahabharata. The temple, they say, belongs to the Vanya Kula Kshatriya denomination. Hundreds of people go to the temple every day, in spite of the fact that it is located in a remote part of the town or the city. Hundreds of people go there. It's a very sacred place, and the annual firewalk and festival are witnessed by thousands of people. Pictures and paintings on the wall which talk about the story of Kunti, the story of Draupadi, the importance given to women in our society. And Draupadi is a very, very important deity. Draupadi Amman you will find throughout Tamil Nadu. And in most of those places, or in all the places, only non-Brahmins offer their worship. Yajna Seni or Draupadi who came out of the fire. If we really notice, the Draupadi Amman temple, Ankala Parameshwari Amman temple, the Koni Amman temple, the Bhadrakali Amman temple, all these 4 temples do not have Brahma. Other community people are the priests. And in the Koni Amman temple, it's a combination. If a Telugu speaking people can pray to a Tamil god and keep her as the tutelary deity, and if the so-called Central Asian Aryan can be a priest along with the Dravidian local person, of course the racial theory is not true. It's a breaking India theory. But yet these people, in spite of these wrongly placed perceptions, are found together and living very, very happily. Don't you think we should be celebrating this?
में हमारे रेलवे स्टेशन में एक फलक लगा
at our railway station proclaiming that Gandhi ji had visited the temple, and he came to know that caste-based untouchability was practiced, and Dalits were not allowed inside the temple. Supposedly, this disturbed him and he left without visiting the temple. In reality, Gandhiji never talked about this incident anywhere. He did not mention this in his autobiography either. God knows how these people got such information. The temple priests keep a record of everyone who visits the temple. In that visitor record, Gandhiji himself has written that he visited the temple. His signature is also there. So, if Gandhi himself never publicized this incident, who publicized it? There are people who spread such rumors. Me, my father, grandfather, and so on knew that there was no untouchability in the temple. There are 119 types of temple services. Among them, many services are assigned to the Dalit community. In case of untouchability, how would those services get done? About 80,000 to 100,000 people come daily. And if there is some festival, the numbers go up even more. From dawn to dusk, many temple services form the daily rituals for the deity. These temple services have been passed on from generation to generation. For example, we are priests who do the first offering. Others dress up the deity with clothes, jewelry, sandalwood, etc. Some are assigned to cook food as offerings to the deity, while others are assigned to do temple cleaning. Priests here do not interfere into the services of others. People only partake in services which have been passed down to them via lineage. People only do their service on the day they are assigned to do so. No one else has the authority to that service. It all depends on whose turn it is. For example, one sweeping the floor on a given day may be a Brahmin. When we do puja, the person who gives us water to wash our hands, who hands us food for offering the deity, he may be a Brahmin, but he is not entitled to touch the deity that day. The one who is assigned to do the puja, ritual worship, on that day, only he can touch the deity, no one else. According to the record of rites at the temple, there are 119 types of services. Among these services, we consider the erstwhile king as the number one servitor. His service? To sweep the temple. There are no big or small tasks. All services are equally valuable. If the erstwhile king sweeps the floor, how is it menial? This is to prove the point of temple service. Even before the current caste consciousness and Dalit labels came into existence, our kings of Puri had accepted that Lord Jagannath is the universal God. According to the kings, Jagannath is the country's god, and I am merely his representative. I am not a king. I am only the servitor of the deity. He volunteered to be a temple janitor, so everyone understands that no service is small. Centuries before the Dalit label came, such examples were prevalent. The Dalit consciousness is just 100 years old. See, the temple untouchability is mostly in sociology books. That's what I believe. In current society, there isn't much discrimination. But when misinformation spreads, people get influenced by that. Most people don't have much knowledge about ancient scriptures. Ask someone what is written in the scriptures about Dalit, Vaishya, trader caste, about Kshatriya, warrior caste, and about Brahmins, priestly class. Hardly anyone knows. People just go with what they hear. If Hindu society had untouchability, how did we study together in school? We sat on the same school benches. We all ate together during break. Where was untouchability? In our temple kitchen, Vaishnava Agni, the eternal fire, has existed forever, and no one will snuff it out. All servitors have equal rights on that fire. When a servitor dies, the eternal fire from the temple is used for their cremation. So everyone has equal rights on the eternal fire. Both a Brahmin servitor and a Dalit servitor will get it. No exception. Everyone has equal rights. We don't know for how long these temple traditions have been going on. The Mahaprasad, food offering to the deity, is distributed to all without any discrimination. A Brahmin can eat alongside a Dalit. They do eat. You can't take your camera, but you can go and see for yourself. Someone may have eaten the Mahaprasad from a banana leaf and left. In case of leftovers, someone else comes and eats it as a sacred food. He doesn't ask who ate earlier. Millions of people visit every day. Nobody is asked to remove their shirt to show the sacred thread worn by Brahmins. If we restrict visitors based on sacred thread, what will the rest of the servitors do? Amongst the 119 types of servitors, most do not have the sacred thread, so they will not be able to enter the temple. This is misinformation spread by certain people. It is just misinformation. During British rule, no Britisher went inside the temple. Non-Hindus are barred. It is perhaps one of the few such temples. However, the entry was never restricted based on caste. And if you notice, for non-Hindus, the deity is taken for procession. During COVID-19, the chariot procession was suspended. So, a Muslim devotee filed a case in the Supreme Court saying, "We only get to see Bhagwan Jagannath once a year. Now you are depriving us from seeing the deity. Please think about non-Hindu devotees and restart the procession." Finally, the court order came, and the procession happened with full police security. So, forget Dalit. Even for Muslim devotees, Bhagwan Jagannath comes out and blesses them. I'll tell you about a few important Odia temples, like Ma Salemashwari Temple. There, the main priest isn't Brahmin. Then, there is Ganteshwari Temple. There also, the priest isn't Brahmin. So, you can't say that only Brahmins can become temple priests. There are small village temples across Odisha, where flower vendor communities are priests. In some temples, the barber community are the priests. I am the priest of the goddess Ganteshwari Temple. This temple has existed since at least 1770 AD, so it is an ancient temple. Here, the Divine Mother is adorned by bells. Everyone is equal in the temple. Nobody is restricted. Any devotee can come and worship the goddess. All are her devotees. If Dalits come, do you restrict them? No, everyone can visit the goddess's temple.
पंडित जी, आप किस जाति से?
I am a Dalit. Temple rituals are ongoing since 1770. By your family? Yes, by our family, since 1770. You are a Dalit, but the impression outside India is that only Brahmins can be priests. So, how are you allowed to be a priest? No, this is an ancient temple. The king of that time who served the goddess assigned us, the Gantia family, temple responsibility. Since then, we are performing the temple rituals. It has been about 500 to 600 years since my family has been the priests here. We are Rajputs, warrior caste, and we perform the rituals in the temple. I'm the 10th generation of my family performing temple rituals. Do you restrict temple entry of Dalits? Nothing like that. In this temple, devotees of all caste visit. No one is restricted. We are warrior caste of the Chauhan dynasty. See, in Odisha, you go to any temple of the goddess. Up to 90% of the priests are likely to be non-Brahmins and maybe 10% are Brahmins. In our temple, Rajputs perform the temple rituals. The flower vendor community also perform the rituals. The Gandia community of Dalits also perform temple rituals. Ever heard any media reports of a Dalit restricted from entering this temple? No, never happened. I have been serving here since age 17. I am now 55 years old. I've never heard nor have I seen such a thing. The movement to force entry into temples was an expression of this reformist inclination. The 5-year-long Satyagraha at the famous Kalaram temple of Nashik, which began in 1930, was a test case. The temple of Sri Rama at Nashik is an ancient palace of pilgrimage, where holy Kumbh Melas are held every 12 years. But for the Dalits, it was impossible to set their eyes on the Murti of Sri Ram. The oppressed classes of Nashik formed a Satyagraha committee under the leadership of Bhaurao Gaikwad to participate in the struggle under the guidance of Dr. Ambedkar. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar chaired the committee that drafted the Constitution of India. He is regarded as the father of Dalit consciousness of modern India. In the Kalaram Temple Satyagraha peaceful protest, Dr. Ambedkar took the view that the subject of Hindutva, Hinduness, is not the sole property of the upper caste. We too have a contribution in it. In fact, we have a big contribution. We too are Hindu. Therefore, the temple should be open to all Hindus. This was Dr. Ambedkar's plea. Dr. Ambedkar was a far-sighted leader. Unfortunately, in this contemporary society, the priests at the time had a particular system. They did not open the temple doors for Dalits at the time. The protests continued for 3 years. However, in 1935, the religious orthodoxy failed to see the importance of this step. Hence, Baba Saheb Ambedkar stopped the protest. However, the doors of his temple were opened to all by the priest's grandson, named Sudhir Das Maharaj. In fact, in the sanctum sanctorium of the temple, along with me, there were 15 other Dalit activists in Nasik city for this program. He, the then priest, called all of us into the inner sanctum. He took the flower garlands from Sri Ram and garlanded each of us. He also gifted us new clothes. Then he gave a 1-minute speech saying, "I am rectifying the mistakes of my ancestors. It was a huge mistake." When society transforms itself, this is how changes happen. Do you think Baba Saheb Ambedkar's Kalaram Temple Satyagraha was a failure? I don't think it was a failure. The temple doors weren't open back then, and that's absolutely correct. But the societal and ideological change that was needed, although delayed, did happen. So this endeavor was successful, eventually. Since then, there hasn't been a single such incident in the temple, and no one has been stopped ever since. People from all religions, castes, and sects now visit this temple, and every devotee can pray to Bhagwan Ramchandra here. Their sentiments are respected and honored. A Constitution March is also coming here right now. This is the meaning of the Constitution March. All castes, all sects. Let us come together, remove all misgivings from your heart because of identity politics. Today's march aims to dispel that misgiving. Hence, we are about to welcome them. Long live Mother India. Long live Mother India. Long live the Constitution of India. Long live the Constitution of India. Long live Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. Long live Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar.
In 1936, there was a great temple entry proclamation. The Maharaja of Thiruvananthapuram, they decided on one single day, on November 12th, 1936, through a temple entry proclamation, they opened the doors for 1300 and odd temples, in which the temples were not allowed entry for people belonging to the other Varnas. And Mahatma Gandhi travels all these temples and he records. It's a divine miracle. Dharma, which has its own way of reforming itself, is Sanatana Dharma. Whenever there is a slight, swaying away from Dharma, people like Ramanuja will come. People like Madhvacharya will come. Vallabhacharya will come. Sant Ravidas will come. Have you heard about Sant Ravidas? Sant Ravidas was a cobbler. He was a cobbler. But all his poetry is recited in the temples. If you take Nammalvar, our Nammalvar is a topmost Alvar of our clan. Out of the 12 Alvars, he is a Shudra by birth. We are worshipping inside the temple. Tirupan Alvar worshipping inside the temple.
A conspiracy to divide the Hindu society is happening at an international level. Various people are working towards this agenda. Numerous universities, publishing houses, trusts are all involved. They don't want the society, the Indian society, to stand united as one. That is their interest. So, how to increase the divide? To that end, they keep this narrative going. But there is no foundation for this narrative today. If you look at my generation, my children's generation, and their children's generation, they are growing up in an atmosphere where social discrimination holds no meaning. It is ridiculous to hold them accountable for historical wrongs. The movement started by Baba Saheb Ambedkar aimed to eliminate caste discrimination. That there should be one society. We are moving in that direction, so why are you trying to drag us back into the past? In the words of Baba Saheb Ambedkar, I am a human being. In other words, I am an Indian. This is my identity. Why do you need to know my caste? The current caste narrative causes harm to what Baba Saheb's movement stood for.
I sometimes think that India and our system has not been presented properly. And I'm very grateful that this is helping us to present it well to the rest of the world. We have been heavily misunderstood, and most of the Indians or Bharatiyas are made to think in an apologetic manner. The fact is, there is no such thing called non-inclusiveness. In fact, we are most inclusive than anybody else because each one of us can approach the path to the Supreme in our own way. That is the true inclusive nature.
The largest Hindu temple in the United States opened in Mercer County today.
The largest Hindu temple outside of India now stands in central New Jersey. A grand dedication was held today for the awe-inspiring place of worship.
That wholesome experience of what it's like to be from that part of the world, what it's like to be Hindu, is available here now, and I don't have to talk about it. It's manifest, it's tangible.
A lot of people are leaving so speechless after their experience. A lot of them haven't visited India before, but they feel like they're in India after coming here to the BAPS seminar in Akshardham.
Like now I can bring my daughter here and I can teach her about her culture. This isn't something that I had when I was growing up. It was difficult for my parents, and I love that I'm able to do that for my daughter.
I am from the marginalized community and I am a proud Hindu. Looks can be deceiving, just like having a disco ball on a Monday morning. And if you peel off the shiny exterior, what you will find inside is a costume party of hidden racial discrimination and Hinduphobia for Asian Indians.
The truth that we witnessed at ancient temples across India was that it would be practically impossible to discriminate against visitors based on caste because of the sheer number of visitors, averaging in the hundreds to thousands per day. The whole truth we heard was there is no theological basis of caste discrimination amongst devotees in a temple. That said, India is a big country, and in some remote part of rural India, if there are such reported cases, it is a crime. It is a crime both as per law and also theology. The nothing but the truth part of our mission has us believe that as the Indian American community continue to rise in prominence, the Indian part of the identity will continue to be systematically attacked by falsehood. The falsehood will crumble on closer scrutiny, as it happened with Equality Labs, or the Cisco case, or the BAPS temple case. The end goal is to reduce the civilizational identity to a museum showcase and eventually turn our places of worship into ancient monuments, where tourists can be ticketed to witness the architecture of an ancient extinct civilization. Because dharma is rooted in Satyamev Jayate, the truth prevails. As in Bab's case, so in others to come, truth is waiting for us to be witnessed firsthand, on the ground, at our ancient temples that have stood the test of time, hence the term Sanatan Dharma.